And we just still got a few people coming in. I'll start off by just saying thank you so much, all of you guys, at the moment, with obviously your patience on the coaching and receiving the coaching at the moment. Obviously, we've had a few hiccups since the start of the year, with Meakin Park getting flooded, the rain not holding off, and obviously games being cancelled left, right, and centre as well. So I thank all of you for your patience on this too. And I've tried my best to keep you all communicated and across the board as well, especially in the metro area, and also those referee and coach development officers who are across the state as well. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen and we might just jump into it. I'll try and keep admitting everyone. If we've got latecomers, I'll just have to keep admitting.
I'll do that, Brad.
Oh, you'll do that, mate? Cheers. Thanks for that. Alrighty. So I'm just going to start off. Can everyone see that screen pop up? You should do.
Yep.
Excellent. Alrighty. So easy one. Obviously, this is the May coaching session. We're hoping to have the same one this time next month, or the last Wednesday of next month, or possibly Monday, dependable. Let's get to this over here. There we go. I just want to acknowledge the acknowledgement of country. So Football Queensland acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which we play, referee, coach, administer, and watch football, and recognise the continuing connection to the land and the community. We pay our respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and to elders past, present, and emerging. I will apologise if you start hearing a yapping. That is just my puppy downstairs being a little pest at the moment. He's just suddenly got energy today. But what we'll be going through today is, or today's agenda, we're going to be going through some of the roles. So obviously, this is going out across the state. Want to make sure we've got everyone on board of who's doing what roles across the state, expectations, and also a recap of what we learned in 2021. The recap's just a little quick reminder of what we learned. We're going through that wonderful thing that we obviously we had it in SCQ areas last year, is that online team sheet system, but we have been having problems across the state with it. So we're just going through. We've got a little bit of feedback there. We're just going through the online team sheets to make sure we're all good with that, and that's also why we're recording this session today. We're also going to go through report writing, more so with the send-off reports, making sure we're across the board on that and how to correctly write them and make sure we're getting all the factual information, and also so it's all on board across the state with that one. And lastly, we'll be going through serious foul play and violent conduct, in which in the group chat, in the written group chat, we'll if Mark or Misuk, if you could put when we get to it, if we can put the link to the pop quiz that we've got at the end there, that we'll all be going through at the end. Alrighty, so just with the roles across the state, just want to start with Mount Isa for we've got referee. It would be referee support and appointment. For Natalia Bambino. So she's up that way. The Whitsunday Coast, the referee coach and development officer is Trevor May up in Mackay. Northern, we've got Mike Morano as the referee coach and development officer. Referee support and appointments for junior, we've got John Cassidy, and referee support and appointments senior and training, we've got Graham Buzzy and Jason Ireland. And the Far North and Golf End, so that's up in Cairns. We've got Martin Tilley as a referee coach and development officer, and with referee support and appointments senior, we've got Peter Hazelton, and referee support and appointments junior, we've got Chris Doherty Fisher. In Wide Bay, referee development and appointments officer on both, we've got Cody Sheeman and Chris Cobbin. And moving to Sunshine Coast, we've got Marsh Camille as the referee coach and development officer, and the referee support and appointments is Alinda Vanderhaast. Central Region, we've got Sam Williams as your referee coach and development officer. Referee support and appointments South is Tori Bartlett. Referee support and appointments North is David Perner. And we head down this way, we've got South Coast, referee coach development officer, we have Dion Bradley, and referee support and appointments officer Maria Ruffley. Darling Downs, referee coach development officer is Trevor Jacobson. And lastly, we've got the metro area, You've got myself as your referee coach development officer for schools and metro area, as well as Misuk Park, who's jumped up over that as well. Our senior support, we have Christine Birchnell, and junior support, we have Daniel, oh my goodness, Typhalos. I've messed this up multiple times with Daniel, and I apologize, Daniel, on this occasion again. But moving on with that, okay, guys, we've got a new year ahead of us, but we also have the same expectations and the same expectations that we go out with every single year. And it's for me moving across, I've moved up to Cairns. I spent a year up in Cairns. I've spent 2 years in Wide Bay, and pretty much the same expectations sent out across the whole of football Queensland. And this goes across the board. So the first expectation we're looking at is our arrival before kickoff. So for seniors, we're looking at more so our 60 minutes. For our juniors, we're looking more so at 45 to 60 minutes before kickoff. The main thing here is we need to make sure if we're going to be late to games, or there's a bit of traffic on the road, or something's occurred at home before you've left, just make sure you contact the match officials to inform them that you're going to be late. And this information can be found on that scheduler appointment that you guys do receive on Scheduler. Arrival at the grounds. Okay, we do prefer it is recommended, I should say. You are in your FQ maroon polo shirt. You got your slacks and your dress shoes. Yeah, so those are those ones. I'm just thinking we will have a few questions. Just mark quickly in this one, just because I know for a fact that there might be some issues in delay of FQ maroon polo shirts at the moment, and I think we're just trying to find a solution for that at the moment. But we can come back to that one. Expectations pre-match, and this is a big one, especially with a lot of juniors that are coming through as well. Moving on to the senior levels, pre-match. The reason why this is important is because we need to make sure we get these field inspections done. We don't want to be starting a game having not done a field inspection where obviously we find suddenly there's a divot in the ground or there's a hole in the net that we didn't do the field inspection before the game. This is really important, guys, because there have been a couple of occasions where this has occurred. Across the state, a ground official has to be identified, and that is before kickoff that a ground official has to be identified. And usually they're wearing a high vis vest, and if you're lucky, it'll say ground official on it as well. And they should be walking you to and from the ground. And when I say to and from the ground, they don't actually have to come on the field. It's more so like they just go to the field, make sure everything's okay. Match balls. This one across the state, I know it does vary, but mainly coaches who provide balls, and I know a lot of the juniors, the coaches provide the balls that you use for the games. We've got to make sure we collect them well before kickoff. Okay, this is so we can check we have 3 exactly the same balls to use. They're the correct size, and we're also checking the ball air pressure. There's nothing worse than starting a game or getting out of the field and the coach gives you 3 balls and 2 of them are flat and 1 of them's semi-okay to use. It's just a lot better to be getting those sorted well before kickoff. It's also the reason why we do a pre-match is we need to check those team kit colors, and we want to check the player equipment. I just want to quickly pause on that checking of the player equipment, because now I know this, for some reason, it happens in school football a lot more often than it does in the local community football, but also at the junior levels. I think, even when a substitute's occurred, it's even best that some of our referees run past the substitutes that have just freshly come on, just to check if they've got their shin pads in as well, because there have been multiple occasions where players come running on, they've stood next to me, and I've looked down and gone, "Where's your shin pads, mate?" And he's told me they're in his boot bag, and there's no point in it being in your boot bag when it needs to be on your shins. So just make sure we're checking those, not just before the game, but also during the game as well. And of course, so we don't get injuries during the game, we want to make sure we're warming up, making sure if you need to do particular stretches before the game. I know I have to do a particular stretches before the game and a particular warm up as well. And there's probably a few others out there that need to as well. Alrighty, moving on from that with payments. Christine, I know Christine's received a lot of questions in regards to payments, but it's the same thing and it hasn't changed for a few years. The payments should come through Friday afternoon or Saturday, unless Christine or myself or someone has emailed you saying there's been an error in the payments and they're coming through at a later date. So a few times we have received guys emailing us at and this one was Friday 5:01 p.m. If you guys haven't received your payment at that time, please wait until Sunday. If you haven't received anything by Sunday, because most of the time you do get something into your bank account on a Saturday, please wait till then before sending an email in regards to that. And if you the next thing too is if your bank account details are not in scheduler under attributes, you will not be paid. Okay. Your money is though held aside until it is added in there, until your bank account details are added in there. And then this then goes through in your next pay process. This one goes out to, and this is in the SEQ area. Apologies, guys, from the rest of Queensland as well. Just in the SEQ area, we've got school football referees. Big one for me as I'm working with this at the moment is make yourself unavailable Saturday morning for community football. If you really enjoy doing the school football, this is to make sure you're fixing the schedule up to reflect this correctly 2 to 3 weeks out. And I know there's a few weeks left of the season. I think there's about 4 from my knowledge. I think including this weekend, there's 4. This is just to help with appointments with Christine and with Daniel doing appointments. If it's 2 to 3 weeks out that you want to be doing school football on a Saturday, Christine and Daniel are already looking at adding the appointments into the system. You wouldn't have received them yet, but they're already putting it in the system because of your availability at that point in time. So that's why it's important to be doing the 2 to 3 weeks out. As well as that, the time management. I know first football last kickoff is usually at 1:15 p.m. and that's across the board. Unless there's, like we had last weekend, we had, I think, multiple first football games played at one venue. I think the last kickoff maybe finished at, I think it was 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Just make sure you are managing your time well, because traveling from one venue to the other, we need you to be arriving, especially for senior football too, that's 60 minutes before kickoff. Not 5 to 10 minutes before kickoff, because it just puts pressure on the other officials as well. There have been a couple of times where I've received a phone call. So is Christine going, "Hey, this guy hasn't rocked up yet. Where is he?" And I've known a couple of them have been at the school football, and I've said, "Hey, they're just at school football. They're on their way." But it's more so just to help the other referees that are on there as well. Okay, moving on. So looking back at 2021. Just those coaching sessions that we covered there. For a few of you that weren't across the board with that, or weren't able to jump online for a few of those, we looked at match balance, how we can control that during the game. We looked at series foul play, lunges in particular. That was a big thing that came through last year when we all came back from COVID. We noticed a lot more lunging tackles, maybe lazy players. I know there's a short break in between, so we cracked down on that pretty quickly. We discussed teamwork across, between the referees and the assistant referees. We talked about match management, how we deal with matches leading up to a game, preparing ourselves as referees and assistant referees before the game. Game plan, how would we approach a team? Each team would have a different way of they play as well, and that led into another session which was under team tactics and understanding, especially when you start getting to that FQPL. I want to say FQPL 2, and especially with the women's FQPL 2 men's, FQPL 1 women's and above. The team tactics does come in there, and understanding that their style of football is before a game is really helpful as well. So that's what we covered last year in 2021. Now moving on to this year, we got the beautiful online team sheets that we're going to be looking at. And here's this is should be a screen everyone should be used to if you've done a few games across Queensland already. But for this exercise, which should be, I'm hoping it's going to be an interactive exercise, I will be choosing one person from each region. So if you guys don't know the the online team sheets is spread across. So we've got the SEQ online team sheets. We've got the Central Coast, so CC online team sheets. And then I'm pretty sure it is, I'm trying to remember. I think it's FNQ or NQ or Northern. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's NQ.
It's NQ online team sheets. So it'll be those three. So I'll be choosing one person from each of those regions just to enter something in with us on there, and I'll be sharing my screen from that too. But do not log in yet. Obviously, those people that I choose do not log in yet. Okay, so I think I just need to have a look at my screen here. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to see everyone.
Yes,
I'm going
it
to pick
is.
someone.
Your code is working as well.
My code is working. Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Alrighty. So who should we pick on, Mark and Misuk? Who should we pick on across the state? I know for a fact that FNQ has everyone in that room there, and I can see Archie's looking very terrified at the moment.
Archie's a good target.
Yeah, I think we might pick Archie for this one. For NQ.
You've got a group at Sunny Coast. If they're sitting making a whole lot of noise next door to me.
Oh, okay. A group of Sunny Coast boys. Is Emmett Brown? Is not Emmett Brown? Is Emmett in there at all? Emmett Dimmitt. We're gonna pick on you, mate, if you're in there.
Yeah. Louis here.
Louis here.
Oh, I'll pick on Louis. Yeah, let's go, Louis. So I'll pick on Louis for that one. And for SEQ, oof, it's a big choice. There's a lot here. I wanna really, just because you're on my screen, I'm sorry, Kevin Duckett, I'm gonna have to pick on you, mate. Okay, and if you can't see it already on my team sheet, that's the code. So for SEQ, this is your code here. You should see it on my team sheet already. That's your code for SEQ. This is your code for NQ, and this is your code for CC. And I'm just going to try and share my other screen.
Okay.
Everyone. So once you got those team sheets up, guys, are you able to enter these match details, please? And I'm going to show. Actually, take a photo of that match details because I'm just going to show what the team sheet should be looking like on the screen too.
Oh, by the way, guys, Misuk and I are watching each of the regions. So Misuk is watching Central Coast. I'm watching North Queensland, and I think Brad, you're going to keep an eye on Southeast Queensland
I am. Yes, I am.
As the data is entered.
Yeah. All right.
And then this is the match details. If you guys could take a photo of that.
So just so everyone's aware, there's only 3 people that are entering the data in at this stage. Because if you all try and enter at the same time on the same match sheets, it doesn't really like it.
Just quickly share this screen here. So this is what your online team sheet should look like. Okay, not the teams. The teams are nothing to worry about here. This is just an example of what your team sheet should be looking like. And I'm looking at what Kevin is doing at the moment, but I'll refresh it in just a tick, Kevin, once you put a couple of the details in.
Okay, that's all right.
And as you guys can see, we've got the names of the players here. There's usually a picture for them. And we've also got name of coaches too. There's usually a picture for them as well. We've also got down the bottom your match officials on the game. Okay, and you can remove yourself from the game. So, for example, you're sick or something, you can remove yourself from the game. But just so we are all aware, this does not reflect for your pay. Okay, scheduler is what we use for your payments, not this. Not this. This is just so we can know that the games are done by a certain referee as well, more so for the clubs. How are we looking in the other areas, guys? How's Sunny Coast going?
Why is he adding goals? Because he's the biggest referee we've got.
Yeah. Sunny Coast is they look like they're smashed through it. Louis not this good. I don't know. He's I think he's been having some help here. Okay, so just quickly going through the home side, we're all good. That's all correctly for the that's on the match details. On this one here, we just got that red card that probably needed to be, you just must have put it in the goals by mistake instead of the red card.
Yep.
Same thing as before. I'm not sure if you have an option to go back. Can't see an option here, but you will need to then put in a instant report.
Yep.
Yep, on that one. Alrighty, let's have a quick look at the Sunshine Coast boys. Let's see how Louis did. Let me refresh this one. I just want to check to see he's got no errors popping up. Alrighty. So we got zero for descent over here. Okay. Alrighty. And we've got 2 for descent here for Marty, and a yellow and obviously unsporting behavior. Alrighty, and in this one here, we've got the 1 red card on this side. Okay, I think it was 1 red card in the end, Kevin. Sorry for that. It was 1 red card.
Yep. For James,
2 red cards for the other team. Yep. So that's all correct, Sunny Coast boys. Now let's just check Archie. There we go. Well done, Sunny Coast boys. Well done, Louis. All right, I'll just quickly check with Archie's one. Alrighty, Archie, that one's all good, mate. Well done on, except for, oh yeah, no, because it's a different team sheet. If you guys get a number, if you have a player's number that is not on the team sheet, 2 ways we could do this, and it will need to work like this. You ask the team who the goal scorer was. Make sure you check with the online team sheet before leaving the venue. You ask the name of the goal scorer, and then you make sure you get their number they wore that game, and then send it through as an instant report to the competition guys, because they'll need to fix it up in there, or if there's any further issues, they'll need to fix that up too. Alrighty, so we had a couple of violent conducts. In this game in particular, Liam O'Connor and Isidro both have seemed to have received a red card. And in this game here, Liam O'Connor and Isidro again, yep, they both seem to receive a red card as well. And I think for SEQ, I think Cammy got one. Let me just have a quick look.
Yes, that's right, yep.
SEQ, is this the SEQ one? Yeah, let's refresh that. Yep. And in this one here, Daniel Olsen and Cammy got one, and Cammy both got one, which is very unusual for the both of them.
Yeah, such mild-mannered men.
I know, but let's remember that we just had 3 red card reports on this game, guys, because I want to move on to our send-off and instant reports. Okay, we're not going to focus too much on the instant reports because they're pretty self-explanatory. You open the instant report and you write down exactly what's occurred. Say, for example, the wrong player's number was on there. So what I'm going to ask you guys, and I'm going to ask the guys that were logged in as myself, can you please log me out and log yourselves into the online team sheets, please, because I'm wanting everyone to jump into the next activity.
And everyone should be logging themselves in. If you've got a computer in front of you, everyone should be logging themselves in for the red card report under your own ID and password.
All right, I'll give you guys a few minutes on that. So I'll say 3 to 5 minutes. Just make sure everyone across the board is logged in as well. For those of you that have done that and have done the login, if you're having issues with your login as well, and you can't see the referee options, now's a really good time to email myself or message ourselves just so we're able to send it off, or Christine, just so we can send it off to get your names ticked off as well in the system. But most of you should be ticked off by now. But when you log in, or after you guys log in, I want you guys to go to the send off report. Okay, so you should have your screen should come up like this, which is on the right hand side in the maroon part here. Okay, and then you want to click on new send off report. Okay, new send off report. Now you got to remember we just had 3 red cards, but I'm just going to get us to use 1 as a send off report for this one, for this activity.
So I'm reading some red card reports because I'm waiting for them to land. Well, if you get a chance, Brad, you should show what we get at the other end. What?
Yeah, well,
that'll be good. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to put dummy details in here for my report. Is that right?
so when you guys get there, you just need to make
Yep.
sure you select this. So the selection process for this send-off report is your home
Yep.
club is FQ Metro referees, your away club is FQ Metro referees, and the competition is referees Cup CC. So the red card codes for this game in particular, okay. We've just, or you can do another game if you want. We're going to use these 4, and I'm going to let you guys choose which one you want. So we're going to go with your R1, your R2, R4, or R5. Now you guys can take your pick on which one you want for this one. But the reason why we chose these ones is because you've got to pick considerations for the said offense. We've got to make sure you also add on there where did it occur, because this needs to be identified, especially for DOGSO, as this will change your considerations and your approach. So I want you guys to make up something. Okay, so you've got to use your creative side here. Maybe even there's a tackle you've pictured and you've had to send someone off for. You can put that down as this red card report here as well. Yeah, mate. Yep.
While the guys are just doing the send-off reports, can I just clarify something you said earlier?
Yep.
I did an online team sheet yesterday, and I did a Y3 caution to supposedly number 14, but I clicked number 11 instead. I can't delete that. So what I did was I then put the Y3 on number 14, and then I just sent a message to competition saying, what do I do? So did you say, if I heard correctly, if I make a mistake on the team sheet, filling that in, I need to do an instant report? Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes. Because
Okay.
once you lock that team sheet with all the information that's on there, we can't unlock it. The only way to unlock it is if you email competition. They have to do it the back system. So making sure we double check, even if you do it in the room with your assistant referees, so you can pass your phone around or pass your laptop around to go, hey guys, can we just double check this is okay? And then we can just tick that off and make sure it's all good. If not, yeah, we've got to send in an instant report.
Okay, all good.
Linda, you should have a code now too on your phone.
You just make up a venue?
Yes, you can make up a venue. You can say Old Trafford. Just please don't put an Anfield.
It's important though, particularly the assessors that are having a go at this. It's probably the first time you guys have seen this side of the page. So if you're struggling with it, let us know, particularly the serious foul play and violent conduct, and also the DOGSOs. There is opportunity to use the considerations, which makes it a lot easier when you're filling in the report.
There, Brad.
Yep, I'm here. We all good, guys?
Oh, good. Yeah, no, good. I haven't seen these considerations before. In the sense of, is this something new that's popped up? I think Mark mentioned something about it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something new that we've introduced this year.
Yep.
It helps you guys, especially with the what happened. So
Yes.
we're able to word it a little bit better. It also helps when we've got to send the red card reports to the judiciary, and also the clubs when the players have to read it as well.
Yes.
It very much helps to paint the picture. So
Yeah, no, excellent, Mark, excellent.
So you can still, if you're old school, you can still do your red card report on a Word document and cut and paste into these pages. So there's a lot of people that come to us and say, oh, I haven't got a copy of my red card report. Write it out in a Word document first, then cut and paste and put into the red card report. That way we don't get as many typos, we hope.
Well, you'll enjoy this one. You'll enjoy this one, Mark. The one that I'm on doesn't even come up with the sanction, so it doesn't even come up with the red card option.
I just got the dreaded error occurred, saving send off. Please contact admin message.
Yep. So
And it doesn't look like you can submit. You have to save before you submit.
Yeah.
No, done that. Wouldn't work.
It wouldn't save for me, and it just wiped it.
Yep, that's what happened.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Was that Cammy's voice?
So if you go
yeah,
back,
it was me.
if you go back, all of the things that you entered will still be there. So
give that a try.
Yeah. So go back, copy all of that into a Word document, and then refresh, I guess.
Yeah.
So the reason it won't save for me is it says I haven't named the player, but the player's name's in there. Is it looking for an FFA number?
It may not be linked to a team sheet.
Yeah, it might not be linked to a team sheet. That's where I could see the error occurring there too, Mark, is the player's number isn't linked to a team sheet.
Yeah.
But
it's
also
more
the name needs to go surname, comma, first name, and that's how you'll find it.
Okay. Alrighty, just for the sake of time as well, I just wanted to make sure we've got it across the board. But if we were to write a red card report, it should come through something like this. I'm just going to bring up one as an example. So apologies, but none of the names have been crossed off or anything too. But it should come up with something like this. So we get sent this, and we had a beautiful weekend the other weekend, didn't we, Mark, where we had a lot of red cards come through. I think it was a blue moon, wasn't it?
It was a blue moon.
Yeah. And we get all this, and this is why it's important. We've got to put, obviously, so what was the offense? So we've got violent conduct here, and then we've got all the information that we've seen on the field. Okay, so where we were standing, and where the incident occurred. A big one here, we had an altercation between the two players, to which AR1, there's a report coming from that. We'll outline further details, but we continue with the details of what was happened, what was said down here. Okay, and then in the considerations, which, as pointed out earlier, is a new thing this year, we also have two highlighted considerations here. So we got consideration 21 and 25 is the foul and act of violent conduct or serious foul play. So that's what we need to include in there. Another big thing as well, guys, is did anything occur after the event, after the incident? It's more so, did the player go over the bench and kick a few bags? Did he do this and that? Make sure we're recording all that information too. Because if something is said to a referee after a player's been sent off, and that's what it means by after the incident, if something said, it can further the sanction, even. If I'm correct there, Mark. I'm pretty sure I'm correct there.
You are correct.
Hi, it's Cookie again. I can't stop butting in. So I was asked a question by a manager of a team whether it was possible for the team to request the send-off report from Football Queensland, and I threw up my hands and said, I have no idea. Not my department.
That's a good question, Cookie, and I'm sure everyone's got the same thing. There was I get asked the question a lot all the time, especially, and I'm sure many referees get asked this too. After a game, straight away the players will be like, "Oh, how many weeks am I going to get?" We don't control that. It's the it's the judiciary that controls that. But the club should get they should get a report of I'm pretty sure they get a report of the red card report, but they can request it as well. But that goes through competitions and admin.
Yeah. I said I can't see a reason why Football Queensland wouldn't give you the red card report. Get in touch with Football Queensland.
Yeah.
And
just so I just want to make it across the board. Like, I know when I've done a game and I've given a red card, I usually red card, write the report off, send it off. That's the last I see of it. I don't care what happens then. I just make sure it gets sent off correctly, and it's out of my hands. So again, if we get people asking questions, we just forward it on to, comps and admin, because that's where it goes to next. Alrighty, do you have any more questions on the send-off report at all? No, all good.
Do you want us to submit?
It's up to you guys. Yeah, you can submit it, and then Mark and I can go through it later. We just want to see everyone's on the right page or getting the right information. You can submit it. We've obviously got a few errors with a few other things across the board. I had one error come up on my screen, so it's totally understandable if you can't submit it.
Right, Peter Haslett here. I would assume the club will require the send-off report, because if they're going to make an appeal, they don't know what they've got to know what they're appealing against.
Correct. They do get that. And they also have if their match is videoed, they usually send in some video evidence as well these days. Now Mark or Misuk, up to you guys. Are you able to put in the group chat that we've got with everyone, if you're able to put in that the pop quiz for the next activity, please?
Sorry, Brad, before we move on to the next activity, and look, I'm mindful of clogging up your inbox, but would you like us from a manager's perspective just to email you if there is an error, so that you cover all spaces?
Yeah, so and we're talking in the SCQ area. Obviously, all other regions, please contact your referee, coach, and development officer if you have an error that does come through. Just make sure you go, hey, make sure you mention had an error with my red card. I put in an incident report. If the incident report hasn't been able to work either, just let us know, and make sure you fill in the red card report in that email too, because pretty much I know I do, and I'm sure the other referee, coach, development officers would as well. If I have that red card information in there, I just send that off to competition straight away. So that information's in there. I send it off, and they deal with it. Sweet. Alrighty. So
I've dropped the link into the chat.
Yep, excellent. So the next thing we're moving, this is the last activity. Like I said, I wanted to make it more of a hands-on with everyone tonight. We're looking at serious foul play and violent conduct. Obviously, again, coming into 2022, it's been a short break with a lot of the teams and a lot of the football clubs. Obviously now, including the weather that we've just had, everyone's a bit angsty because they haven't been able to go out and play football. So we need to be careful of over the next few weeks, these key incidents happening in a game. We've got to be able to control them in a game. So we're talking about serious foul play and violent conduct. We want to stamp it out early rather than later, because we don't want to get to finals and everything's fired up, and then we have about 5 red cards in a semi-final match, or even a grand final match. Just make sure we jump on this one early. But for those of you that have your law books, and apologies, due to the floods, we did lose a fair amount of law books. We are looking to get, we've got some back in. It's just about getting them out to everyone now is the next step of approach. But if you have your law book, just turn to page 63. You can bunny ear that one, because that's your beginning of law. Sorry, not the beginning of law. Where in law 12 you can find the definitions of this, and also page 131 is where you can find the considerations. So just a quick definition of serious foul play. I say quick. Serious foul play is a tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force. Cheers. So it endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutality, and must be sanctioned as serious foul play. Any player who lunges at an opponent in challenging for the ball from the front, from the side, or from behind using one or both legs with excessive force or endangers the safety of an opponent is guilty of serious foul play. The next one is violent conduct. Violent conduct is when a player uses or attempts to use excessive force or brutality against an opponent when not challenging for the ball, or against a teammate, team official, match official, spectator, or any other person, regardless of whether contact is made. In addition, a player who, when not challenging for the ball, deliberately strikes an opponent or any person on the head or face with the hand or arm is guilty of violent conduct unless the force used was negligible. Ready. So I'm just trying to make sure my screen is going to work from here. Here we go. So the next activity, these are, just so we're clear, these are all going to be red card offenses. Okay. There's no ifs, there's no buts. These are all red cards offenses. You guys just need to decide if it's serious foul play or violent conduct. This is a really good photo that we got it at the, I think it was the 2021 referee conference that we had. So it's a funny little photo. And then we got if you guys don't have the link, if you want to type this in, okay, we've got this link here. You should have it. Okay, it's a very long link. I wouldn't expect you to be typing it in. But we'll move on to the videos, and you should all have your pop quiz. Up to you if you do it in the time frame where we're going as it with the group now, or up to you if you want to do it yourself now and listen in on the group too. At the end of it, I do ask that you make sure you tick the box at the end that says what zone you're from. Okay. This will be used just to collect some details and data to send back to your referee, coach, and development officers in your region. Alrighty, so we'll start with video 1. I'm not going to play the audio too loud, so don't stress too much, guys. We'll just go through video 1. If you all have that video up on the pop quiz, that'll be awesome.
Get him sent off! What's the matter with him? He's got to go.
Alrighty, so you guys have a choice. You just make a selection there if it's serious foul play or violent conduct there. And then you've also got a selection or a bit there where you just need to write what you saw. I believe it is what you saw. I think that's what we left it as. Mark? Yeah, it is. So what did you see? Okay. So what did you see? Alrighty. So with that video that we just had, Mark, do we want to go through? Do we want to see if anyone, maybe even Cameron Fawcett, wanted to voice up and say whether or not it was serious foul play or violent conduct?
Well, is the referee was Izzy, was it, or Oleg?
It was Oleg. Oleg on that one. If Oleg's
is Oleg online? No Oleg.
No Oleg. Cameron, step up, mate.
Cameron can step up. We'll throw Cameron under the bus since he's not allowed to go outside.
No, that's all right. So the first one, I'll tell you what I wrote. So I went with. Hang on, I've got to go back. I'm still answering them.
I've only got 2 responses for the first one.
Well, I'll be one of them. I went with violent conduct, and I said the player deliberately strikes the Capella Bar player on the head. So for me, it's not obviously there's not a challenge for the ball in this one, and I think his action by grabbing the other player on the head and dragging him to the ground in a deliberate action just constitutes as, for me, it's violent conduct for this one. Hello?
Too easy. Sorry, mate.
Okay.
I'll play the video again just so everyone can see it again.
Yeah.
We'll see the small replay afterwards too. There we go. So he just slings him over and throws him to the ground there as well. Almost like as Cammy may be familiar as well, as almost like an RKO, as I like to put it as well. Alrighty. So how many responses do we have for that one, Mark? One of them
still only got 2 at the moment.
Oh, okay, one of them will be mine because I've put that one through. If you guys, because I know the big groups like Sunny Coast and Far North Queensland, they'll be in the room together. I'll make sure to send out those links to you guys to send to your region referees.
I'm wondering whether or not it won't actually submit the responses until you've finished submitting all of the responses.
It's coming through, David, as people are filling them in, completing them, they're coming through. It could also be the internet sucks where I am currently.
All right.
That might be the other thing.
Because I've definitely submitted.
I've got 3 through now, so it's all right.
Too easy. We might move on. Looking at the time, we might move on to video number 2 quickly. I'm hoping Liam O'Connor's on, because prepare yourself, Liam. You might need to speak.
If he was, he's just dropped out.
Yeah. There we go. So I'll give you time. I'll give you guys time with that one there, and then we'll play through it again too at the start. Wonder if Liam's online. Give us a voice if you're there, Liam. If not, we'll pick on someone as well. Don't stress Archie. Don't stress Louis. Don't stress Kevin. We've already picked on you tonight.
I'll find someone.
Yeah. I could play that for you again on here as well, Drew, if you wanted to have a quick geeze. I'll just play it again on the screen.
So for me, the foul had already gone. The whistle had already gone, so it's after the fact. So it'd be blatant conduct for me, even though if the ball was still live, it'd probably be serious foul play. Was it pretty simultaneous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah. So it'd be serious foul play if the ball was still actually in play.
Make a decision.
Serious foul play then. That's easy. He's going off either way.
Yeah.
Different suspension though. Violent conduct versus serious foul play. Very different length of suspension.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. I'd be going serious foul play then.
Easy,
even though in my mind there's still a delay between I'm blowing foul, and in that split second between I'm blowing it to actually blowing it, he's lunged in.
And make sure, and you mentioned what you saw there too, the way he lunged in on the tackle as well. Yeah. Perfect. Alrighty. Alrighty, so we got video number 3. If Tony's here, Tony Sarai, I know you may be sick, mate. If you don't have a voice, it's okay, mate. I also know that he emailed me saying he was unable to attend. That was when he had a game on. But if he's not here again, we'll pick on someone else again, Mark.
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
Oh, excellent. How you feeling, by the way, mate?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Average.
Yeah, getting over it.
Too easy. We'll play this video here. I think it's tight.
Tight, everyone!
Is there a reflection off the head? It's Tony. Sorry, Tony.
You're all right. Could be a number of us now. Could be Troy.
It could be Troy, but Troy wears a beanie.
Oh. We're looking at number 8, and is there a potential stamp?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. Also on the replay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only seeing it by this blurred screen. So, so was there a stamp? If there is,
yes, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because the ball was in within playing distance, and we've got to weigh up: is it violent conduct or serious foul play? In that case, I'm going to go with serious foul play, as opposed to, and I can't see it from the blurred screen. I'm going to go serious foul play over violent conduct.
Serious foul play.
Objection. I reckon it's violent conduct because it's off the ball. The ball's already gone.
And we've all put in there what we've seen as well. You know, we've seen number 8 stamp on.
Go back. Just go back half a frame.
That one there.
Go back one more. I can't tell from this blurred vision. Has he already stamped on him, or is he in the process of?
Either way, why is not challenging for the ball when that's happening? I can't see.
Yeah, if that's.
I can't see any stamp when they're stamping on the opponent. How is that ever serious foul play?
Just go back to frames, Brad. Play it again, and let's see.
Yeah, too easy. I'll play it from here for you.
Yeah. Here we go. Ball played. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to go violent contact with that. And the only thing that clouds my my decision making is I'm assuming that's Daniel Cunha, number 4, that's going past. I can't tell by this frame that I'm looking at if he's already stamped on him or not, whilst the ball was there. And if we're going by, and I can't see who's making the comment, but if it's well and truly after the ball's gone, then it's obviously violent conduct. If it's as the ball was played, then it's serious foul play.
I will say that it's difficult from the video to see whether he's stamping on him. I'm assuming he's stamped on him. If he's stamping on him, it's violent conduct. I can't understand when. So, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but if somebody is stamping on another person, when is that ever serious foul play? It's always violent conduct if they're stamping on them.
Yep. Fair comment there as well. I'll just go through it here again. It's just after the play, and it's I'll be feeling violent conduct there too. Personally, it's just straight after the play.
If you look, the ball's been kicked. The player's actually stepped back. He's fallen over, and the offending player stepped back on him. To stamp on him after the ball's gone.
Yeah. Alrighty. Moving on to video 4. We got 2 more videos to get through. Moving on to video 4.
Can I say number video 3?
Yeah.
So this is the most important thing about a top level referee. I think Tony, he was right there, but maybe he's focused on where's the ball going, not concentrate about the point of contact. But when he's really good at reading of the match, and then he was right there. This is good, but maybe how can we avoid this situation? But how can we pick it up, this situation? This is more important. So for example, if the referee missed this point of contact, which is violent conduct, because ball is away, already is gone, and then happening. So how can we can see and help the referee if the referee is missing, even though the referee is right there and then close to the commit the foul? But maybe AR2 can see that one, or if we have a fourth official, we can see that the defender stepping on the attacker. So I think this is we think about serious foul play and violent conduct. The most important thing, I think, violent conduct not happening, next match. So how can we to correct how to say outcome with the referees team is more important for me.
Absolutely agree, Mizuk. And I won't embarrass the person, but I was refereeing a game. We happened to be using comms. I was following the ball, and after the ball had gone, 2 players came together, and it wasn't a red card, it was a yellow card offence, but it was late. And my assistant referee told me exactly what happened after the ball had gone, and and I was very happy that my assistant referee was able to tell me what happened, because I'd followed play. And being a team and having your assistant referee looking at what has happened after the ball has gone is so important.
Yeah, especially both players challenging for the ball, and then ball is really quickly, change. So sometimes the referee follow the ball and look at the next page, not looking the specific, both player. So maybe before pre-match meeting, the referee explaining if this kind of situation happen, please look at other like a fourth official or other side AR can look at this, like a more prevention before the match. So I think this clip, the player stepping on the opponents with the stud on the low scene, endangers of the safety of the opponent. So the consideration, foul an act of the violent conduct, and then the players attempts to use the, assess for not challenging for the ball because the ball is already is gone. How do you think, everyone?
I agree.
Totally agree, Mizu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, is that violent conduct, but the most important thing, how can we avoid this situation next every match, every round?
Sorry, Misuk. I totally agree with what you're saying about the pre-match, but for me in this particular clip, to have any input from the AR1, the fourth official, or even AR2, given where this one actually is, I don't think you could sell that decision. Like, I don't quite understand how with Cam, this particular one.
I actually think it's more than that, Cam. And I actually think so. If we're having a chat about this, my question would be, if you watch where the ball's going after, so the ball gets played by, so you watch the ball here, where's the ball going next? So the ball's going next into the penalty area. So as a referee, what have you got to watch from the angle that you're coming from, right? So if you've got to, I'm going to make the assumption you've got to follow the ball into the penalty area, do we not? Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah. That's totally fair, Tony.
I would.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my question is, and here's a question for Misuk or Misuk, how or who picks that up? Because we made the assumption now, or we've made the call that it's off the ball, right? So if it's off the ball and you look at where the ball's heading, it's heading into a penalty area. If I'm following the ball, whether it be me or whoever else following the ball, who picks that up?
I totally understand if it's close to one of the match officials. Like if it was in the vicinity of the fourth official or both ARs, then the responsibility, I guess, can be a bit more on them to see that. But given where that is and how it's unfolding, I think if we see that, that's
based on that. Based on that video, like based on that snapshot there, the best person that's got the view, and if you had comms, the best person that's got the view is the fourth official, right?
Yeah.
Or AR2.
AR2 when you've only got 3.
We put in this. We were asked to look at. We were asked to look at the video. Hey guys, we were asked to look at the video, and from the video make a decision whether it was serious foul play or violent conduct, not to make comments of where the referee was, what he should have done, and so on, because we don't know what he did.
But I like this discussion. This is a good discussion because this is where the rubber hits the road when I'm out on the field refereeing. And from my point of view, because of what happens after the incident, so the incident happens and then everyone, like the shit hits the fan and everyone runs in. Now, if my AR2 has clearly seen somebody tramp on another person, I don't care how far away he is. I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to, and they're going, or her, and they're going to tell me what happened, and I'm going to act on what they saw. But I think that part of my thought process is what happens directly after the incident, and the shit really does hit the fan.
Okay, so David, let me ask you this question then, right?
Sure.
In this case,
sorry, boys. Sorry, Tony. Sorry, David.
You go, bro.
I'm just being self-aware for time here as well. We're hitting 8:35 at the moment. I know this is a deep discussion with this one.
I'm happy to keep going until 10:30 if that's okay with everyone else.
Oh no, I don't think everyone. This is a work night as well. We just got to be wary of time and everything too. But I understand, like, we're all making.
We're all football nerds, right?
Sorry.
We're nerds. This is what we do.
We just want to get the decision correct. But more than happy to discuss, like, if we've got further questions with this one here and moving forward with other videos with this. It's not more so, and I'm not saying this has occurred. It's not more so what the referee's done right or wrong. It's we're making a decision here. Like, say for example, FIFA gives us a video. What do we expect from this? It's not more so what's the referee missed in these decisions here. It's what we want to learn from it as well. But I'm just going to jump to video number 4, just quickly, and hopefully we can smash through the next 2. I just want to get through video number 4. Alrighty, so I think Oleg's just jumped online. He did message me before. And Oleg, are you still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
There you go. Perfect. Alrighty, so we're going to go through this one here. If we can get an answer, if we go through this all together, okay, if we get an answer and then you guys can describe what you see. I'm going to play the video again for you, Oleg. I'm going to turn the sound off though. Okay, and then you just tell us if it's serious foul play or violent conduct for yourself.
No, it's definitely a serious foul.
Yep.
It was like sliding tackle from the back. And can you try again?
Yeah, no worries. I'll do that.
Yeah, so it's so delay. It was lunge tackle. Point of contact with higher than the heel. So for me, it's like a serious foul, unsafety, and dangerous of safety player. So yeah. For me, it was easy red card and good position.
And the speed would come into that factor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, speed as well. Yeah, and jumped. Yeah, he jumped.
Yeah,
behind.
You've got a good view there as well, mate. So if we all put that down in there as serious foul play on that pop quiz, if we put that down there and what we've seen as well, guys. Okay, and then we'll jump to video number 5. And I don't expect, if she is here, kudos, but I know that Beck is. Thank you by the way, Oleg. But this is Beck is in the middle for this one here. Again, if she's here, kudos. It'll be the close-up that you guys will need to pay attention to. Okay, because it's as the player's coming down, I'll replay that for you guys. So if you guys can decide if that's serious foul play or violent conduct and what you've seen. And then just write down what you've seen there as well, between if you decide if it's serious foul play or violent conduct. Too easy. And that was just on the pop quiz one, guys. And I'll send that out to your referee, coach, and development officers as well. And they'll make sure to send it to those guys. Just make sure at the end you also put in what zone, what region you're from as well. This is just for statistic purposes at the end too. Like I said, this was more so an interactive one with you guys and making sure we're discussing and trying to highlight really things that we want to change in the coming weeks as well, especially considering obviously this weather that we've had over the past couple of weeks and everyone wanted to get back to football. We kind of just want to make sure that the players and us referees are administering nice games of football across the board, across the state, because we all want an entertaining game and a fun game. And I'm sure as referees, we really want an entertaining and fun game too. And we don't really want to come off the field tired, be administering a few red cards because of players' behaviour throughout the game. So just bearing that in mind across the board. If you've got any questions though about the online team sheets or any queries or any issues, make sure you're emailing us or your RCDOs of the area. Like I said, we mentioned the names at the start as well. If you have any queries on who they are, the contact details are on the Football Queensland website too, and you should be able to contact and email those guys. Did you guys have any questions though before we finish up the session?
Brad, just a quick one on team sheets, especially getting the codes.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, there was nothing. Last week, a few games I'd done had them, but the Metro or lower divisional games here in Townsville haven't got them. And a lot of those clubs at present aren't having people, they don't have their managers there or something. They just turn up with the bare 12, 13 players or something like that. If you're lucky, you've got someone running water for them. Is there a problem coming out of comps with those codes? And where else can we be getting them from if the clubs aren't there to be able to get them to us?
Yeah, that's a good question, mate. So at the moment, like I know for a fact, and I'm not too sure if Christine's received any codes lately in regards to the Metro matches. Christine is currently shaking her head at the moment. So obviously Townsville are in the same boat. My only advice to you would be this: if that is the case and you haven't got access to the team code or the match code and you haven't got access to the team sheet, you just have to fill in an instant report with all the match details and you send that off. Send that off.
And or in Townsville, get in touch with Craig Perfect.
Yeah.
Craig Perfect has all of the codes in Townsville. So he is generally somewhere around, I think it was Vince, wasn't it? He's normally somewhere around that area, and or John Cassidy will have Craig Perfect's number if it's at Smile 1300.
Yeah, Craig was there last week when we done midweek games. This week.
So Craig actually has done the scheduling of games in Townsville, so he'll have all the codes if they haven't populated for some reason.
Okay, no worries. I'll get his number for future reference.
That's the easy access.
Yep, thanks, mate.
All good. Do we have any more questions at all, guys?
It's really important. I've noticed a couple of team sheets that have popped up that when you're filling the red card reports, please, please, please use the considerations. It is really important. It just helps us so much in painting a picture in the office, because you may have a non-football person or an AFL person looking at the red card reports who does not understand football like we do as referees. So we need to paint the picture through considerations.
Mark, aren't those people called clubs?
It would be nice if clubs actually understood. The other side of the statement that I'm going to make: if things happen at football clubs, please, please, please fill in incident reports, because if we don't know about them in the office, there is an integrity officer whose role it is to deal with clubs. And all clubs have been notified that they're on a 3 strikes policy. We currently have 2 clubs, I believe, that are currently on 2 strikes, and 2 other clubs that are on 1 strike as we stand now in Southeast Queensland, considering the amount of weather. And we have 1 club in Central Coast that is on 1 strike. So it's really important that we hold these clubs account, not for us old boys, but for the next generation that are coming through.
Mark, can I ask, what happens at 3 strikes?
The whole club loses from under 13s through to whatever top grade it is, loses 3 points, and they get fined.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it could be an under 13 team that is causing the problem.
Yep.
And the say it's an FQPL 3.
Yep.
FQPL 3 team loses 3 points as well and potentially misses out on promotion, relegate or promotion or gets relegated.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
fair
consequences for the clubs are considerable.
That's fair enough. Thank you.
Alrighty. And if we have no further questions, guys, or if you do have further questions, just send them through to us and we'll be all good. But thank you for attending tonight, guys, and looking forward to seeing you across the track and later on down the next month, I should say.